the start of that second half wasn't what we're looking for, and it kind of mission imposed their will on us to start the second half. So give Coach May and their players a lot of credit, but I'll say this: these guys that I coach have been one of the more enjoyable groups I've ever coached in my life.
That's Alabama head coach Nate Oates late Friday night following Alabama's 90-77 defeat to Michigan in the Sweet 16. Former UAB Blazer Yaxel Lindeborg led all Wolverines in scoring with 23. He also put in 12 rebounds and 7 assists. Now Alabama has made the second weekend of the tournament 4 consecutive seasons now. Let's take a look at Alabama's tournament results over the last 4 seasons. 2023, they lost to San Diego State up in Louisville in the Sweet 16. That was the Brandon Miller year, maybe the single best Alabama team on paper in school history. 2024, they lost to UConn in the Final Four. Dan Hurley's Huskies would go on to win back-to-back national championships. 2015, they went up to Newark and got beat by Duke in the Elite Eight. Of course, Duke had the player of the year in Cooper Flagg, just overpowered the Tide a year ago. And then yesterday, 2026, a loss to Michigan in the Sweet 16. Well, you don't need me to tell you that Alabama and Auburn is one of the best rivalries in all of sports. However, this last year, it's been pretty one-sided. In November, Alabama went into Jordan-Hare Stadium and clinched a spot in the SEC championship game with a 27-20 victory over the Tigers. In basketball, LeBaron Philon and the Tide broke out the brooms, completing the season sweep of the Orange and Blue, beating Auburn not just once, but 2 times this past season. And last night, Alabama baseball teed off on Auburn pitching, downing the Tigers 11-1. So, would Auburn throw a counterpunch in Game 2? Let's go to the top of the first. Auburn already threatening with runners on the corner. Zane Adams' pitch is going to get by the catcher, John Lem. Bristol Carter will come across to score from third, and just like that, it's 1-0. Now, last night it was about the long ball for Alabama. Tonight, small ball. Runners on the corners. This bunt's a thing of beauty from Will Plattner. Brady Neal scores on the sacrifice. We are tied at 1. Let's jump to the bottom of the 9th inning. Game tied at 2. And Bryce Fowler will take this pitch to deep left center field. Bud Terrell can't get to it, and that will do it. Alabama walks it off. Bryce Fowler, the hero. Bama wins the game and the series 3-2. Crimson Tide final. Softball now. Alabama taking on North Dakota State. And check out Ambry Taylor. First pitch swinging. That's a goner into the Brickyard and right. 3-0. Bama leads. To the 4th we go. Alabama with a 9-0 lead, and Holly Beth Brooks is going to record her first collegiate hit. It's a 2 RBI single. What a moment for the Northport native and the Tuscaloosa County High alum. Her first hit, first RBI. Alabama run rules North Dakota State in just 5 innings. Tide win it 13-0.
I think our pitching and our defense was outstanding, and then today we had some really, really good at-bats that I was pleased with. All the way up and down the lineup, 1 through 9. We had production in every spot, and it was just a fun 2-game series.
Auburn taking on Mizzou. Missouri put up a 5 spot in the top of the first, so Auburn trying to play catch-up. This will certainly help. Alyssa Hastings with a solo homer to right center field makes it a 5-1 ball game. However, it would not be enough. Missouri's strong first frame carries them to a road victory. Auburn falls 6-3. And some big-time recruiting news out of the high school ranks as one of the state's top stars is heading to the Big 12. Oxford standout Jaden Alexander has flipped his commitment from Belmont to Kansas State, announcing his decision on social media early this afternoon. Alexander is the top guard prospect here in the state of Alabama. He's ranked number 22 at his position in a top 200 player nationally. That according to 24/7 Sports. Alexander led Oxford to a Class 6A state championship this season, earning tournament MVP honors on the way. That's a look at sports. Again, we're going to have a final check on your forecast when we come back.